season, I've already started the season with this matchup, but when these two battle, Broncos, New England, it's always a good one. It was tough to pass up this one. I'm also going to have to do the New England one against the Bears as well, but this one was tough to pass up, and yeah, so Broncos, Pats, season opener, Sunday nighter, and yeah, I'm set and we're ready.
As we'll see Aaron Rodgers and the Denver Broncos.
Gonna be a good one.
Mac Jones and the New England Patriots.
Make it a good one.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver.
Since this is the first episode of the season, you're getting a special treat of off-season news. Or actually, I may do the Thursday night game as well. Alright, big news. Garoppolo wound up going to the Pittsburgh Steelers for our two first-round picks. But the Steelers look better, signing a lot of good wide receivers and all the top defensive players. And the Steelers, after going 1-16, are a top 10 team all of a sudden. Cincinnati has traded back for Burrow and Chase, so now Cincy is great again. They got back Burrow and Chase, and they should be a great team. And they're going to be a tough team to beat, too. And the Seahawks quarterback is now Jared Goff, leaving Miami. And Jared Goff should do good. And then if you're wondering, Miami's quarterback's Matt Ryan. The Raiders quarterback is still Derek Carr, Eagles. They're going through a quarterback carousel. They have Fromm right now. Touchdown! Opening drive. Man, this could be a game in the season right here. Rodgers, Jones, first play, touchdown.
Need expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want.
And I think that's pretty much all the news. A lot of quarterbacks moving around once again. Brady has announced his last season.
What they have to understand is, while they got it done there,
and Elliott's winning 52 in honor of Super Bowl 52.
Elliott good on the extra point. It's now a 7-0 game.
This
Now
game's
after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
gonna be a lot of. If you notice, since I've taken over the league, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of more game of the years.
So now here are the Broncos.
Last year, Saints Pats. Pats won 58-52 in game opener, and then the Bucks beat the Pats 52-46 in potentially the game of the year. Not the Super Bowl one. That one was great as well. Super Bowl they won 40-37. The Bucks also beat the Pats in overtime 52-46.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And then,
The defense was ready, it looked, for that.
just to make it a bit more crazy, the
next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the
Falcons-Bills game, that game was like 59-55.
From the 27,
But that game didn't get
Rodgers
the last score.
finds his man complete. It's Palmer. The 20, 10, 5,
It's crazy to think that McCourty talked about retiring, and he's still playing this many years in the future. And that was back in '53.
Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up. But when you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did.
Oh yeah, and that Chargers-Chiefs game last year. They were down 27-3 and they came all the way back. And then they lost. The Chargers were.
Tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
Oh, and don't forget that Eagles-Colts game. That game, 50-44. In OT, that was another great one. Dan, there were a lot of great games last season.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And we'll see a return here from the... And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for the Denver touchdown. And that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble. Think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit, or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Oh my gosh. 14-7. This reminds me of the Pro Bowl. This game really reminds me of the Pro Bowl.
So not only the cough, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
Nice.
Communication on the lateral. The ball's out.
Did the Patriots get it? Okay, good. I was walking to turn off the lights, and then they left the control.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch.
That could have been ugly very quickly.
But he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We got to get it back.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
And Mac Jones in the Pro Bowl running for that big touchdown.
Big play there for New England. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
All the way in. Touchdown, New England. A great effort there.
69.
33 yards.
Okay, good. Still
and the
missing.
Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early.
Like a new guy on the team.
And now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
Take the lead.
They'll look to throw. That's caught at the 2. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Or are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
What a start to the season. This game is getting...
Now after the touchdown, here's
What a
Elliott on
Sunday
to kick
night.
it away.
A lot of upsets this week.
From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And a mistake on the
Like
lateral.
fumble, keep him down.
And the Patriots have it.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again, and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
And
What
they're
a
trying to pile
start.
on. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Off play action. Jones being chased out left. Broken tackle. He's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. From the 5 now, 2nd and a yard. Off the bootleg. Jones. There's Henry. Touchdown Patriots. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is up to 8. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he loses the football a second time.
This game loves the fumble.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they get another shot here with a 1st and 10. He'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And there's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just saw receivers find an open patch of grass.
That
and let the
Browns
quarterback
Falcons
find you.
game
And that's exactly
I
what they
mentioned,
did
that's
on that
final
play.
score is
First, he gets
40-48.
the air,
Another
chunk of
game.
yardage
The
there,
Browns won
and
it.
then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Rodgers. Got a man and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Broncos. 20-yard touchdown. And now the Broncos are within a 2-point conversion and tying up the game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far. Fun to watch. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And this is now a 1-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And anytime a receiver's over 100 yards like he is, maybe the D coordinator scratching his head a little bit. If you're the D coordinator, what are you doing? Whatever he's not doing.
that's the best way to put it. Right? You have to treat him like the hot shooter in basketball. The guy that's just not missing. You run enough people at him to make him give up the ball in basketball. In this case, you got to cover him with enough people to throw the ball to someone else and make them beat you.
At the line, ready to go. The ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Back to throw. Jones. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. The way in. Touchdown, New England. Jacoby Myers, 40 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble, bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Lots of guys up front, or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the ball.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alley has not been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Rodgers now to throw. That's again complete to Palmer. But he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting a little time. Here's Rodgers to throw. Well, that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Josh Jacobs punching it in from a yard away. And the Broncos get a late score here in the final minute of the 1st half. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Here comes Rodgers now as they'll go for the 2-point conversion. Rodgers will throw for it. Goes right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on it.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Pats going to get one final possession in this 1st half. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. And the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. See you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the 2nd half? Find out. We give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
What a game. Oh my God.
We'll see if
Hopefully it's not
fatigue
3-0.
becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. From deep in the end zone,
These
he's
two
going to bring
scores is
this
the
out.
highest each team has had at a half.
Starting field position as he's out of
Or at
bounds at
least
his
each team's
10-yard
had a
line.
half at
Anytime you feel
with the
the
same
kickoff
number
inside your own end
since
zone, you got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not.
in NFL
Sometimes
history.
indecision can really cost you.
So you're
That may
welcome
have
for
been
the
what happened on
jinx.
that play.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. It's a tied football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked
Oh,
at things and said,
God.
unfortunately, this is a tied game. We need to panic. We need to change our
God.
We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the giver. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
A huge play there for Denver. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yard.
Denver last year being crushed by the Titans in their wild card round,
Off you go.
26-23, last second field goal win.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Josh Jacobs, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Broncos on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidence right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Extra point right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. And Charles, he's been spectacular. 4 touchdown passes. Yet his guys, they trail.
Broncos is like they were the top prediction to win the Super Bowl playoffs. They lost to the Titans. Wow. And a week later, they lost to the Pats, which wound up going to the Super Bowl, but losing to the Bucs the same way the Broncos lost to the Titans in the Super Bowl.
The
That
Pats at
last
the
second
line,
field
ready
goal.
to go. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And that ball nearly picked off. It would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Damn. What
2nd
a
and 10,
game.
3rd quarter of the season opener.
Season open. Oh my
Looking to
God.
throw. Jones. That's caught by Myers. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. This is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A great play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? And, you know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will tie our game here in the third. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. As we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Broncos are about set to go on offense. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half. Tied after the first two drives of the third quarter, one for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching.
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They forced incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure? Or do they
Not
bring
again.
on this
Oh.
day?
This guy comes out of nowhere.
Big play there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Broncos have broken the tie. And that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement long touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. And they will take a 7-point lead now.
There's all this stuff about Kyler Murray moving all Cardinals content on Instagram. Okay, so he's done in Arizona. A lot of big quarterbacks are in the AFC. Stafford, I guess, the best guy in the AFC, and there's Lance. But who else is there? But Brady, Rodgers, eventually retiring, or at least leaving the Packers.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he
Fields
gets
is
out to the
Fields.
16-yard line.
And there's Russell Wilson. I don't think he's staying in Seattle. He could go to an AFC team. I don't think there is any left. Vikings are moving on to Cousins. Okay, yeah, really
They carry that confidence
any
into
good
this.
quarterback.
Doesn't matter where you start with the
So
football.
it would be smart for like a good quarterback, but not a great quarterback, to get in to the NFC, to a good NFC team looking for a quarterback. They could lead their team to a Super Bowl, and then they could always pull the upset. They could always pull that upset.
Takes it all the way down
So it's
to
not a hard
32.
question.
It's a big play there for the Patriots. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the
Driving.
field.
Oh my God.
He's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice game. A big play there for the Patriots.
But he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago, as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us...
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. One back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal. Back to throw. He's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter play. 1 quarter remains here on Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. EA Sports. A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Jones. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Jacoby Myers. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Pats are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. Pulls it in at the 13. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. Some problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole
Gosh,
field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place.
Sure
You're
enough,
just trying to find
Patriots
the
have
right
a
guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
Oh, Betty, they're going to have an 8-point lead just because you said that. Thanks.
Right,
That's a
now
jinx.
big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. And boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown, and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Denver's offense ready to go again. Still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. On 1st and 10, there's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Palmer. Past the 20. Just falls short.
40. Good play by 40.
Big play there.
469 passing yards.
Every defensive staff works on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zoom and pass at them. And he'll get it. He's over for the touchdown. Aaron Rodgers keeping it in set for a yard out.
They get tired.
Broncos have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They still got a chance to come out with a lead if they make a play.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
This is already the game of the season so far.
Now it's Rodgers. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted to tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in in this wild fourth quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. New England trying to get a place on offense. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Jacoby Myers, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. All tied up. Less than 2 minutes to go.
Oh, damn. This game is
So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They've got a first down in field goal range already. And it's caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Jacoby Myers with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Patriots answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth.
8 passing touchdowns from Mac
That score
Jones.
deserves our
3
respect,
seasons ago,
deserves
that
our
would have been a
excitement.
record.
But I'm looking at the clock and
Right
I'm
now,
thinking,
Brady and
that's a
Jones have the
long way to go
record
in this
of
one.
9.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But boy, that's a big score right there to give me.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Let it run and it's picked. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 40.
There's some excitement, right? Go for 2, and instead it gets picked off. And how about the return? Give them a lot of credit, though, for not giving up after the play.
Yeah, the troops rallied.
Exactly. And getting back there and making the tackle and not giving up 2 points themselves.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 6. A minute 54 on the clock. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. That's caught by Palmer. And some space here. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Rodgers to throw. This is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Broncos are an extra point away from taking the lead. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish.
Get the ball, Mac Jones, with a minute and 15 left. Are you sure you want to do that?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Up comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So Tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
This is all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Jones. That's caught left side.
Not
Miles
really
with it.
surprised.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken a lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. 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 I know it's a never say never situation. But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Back to throw. Jones. And it is incomplete, so they can't convert for two. And now the lead stays at 5. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out.
They could try down, even it now. They gave
Looking outside of his got a man.
Oh.
That's Palmer.
There we go.
And he'll go out of bounds, making it all the way down to the 5. A big play there for the catch and run.
Work hard to make sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Back to throw, Rodgers. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people watching this one right here who gave up? Because that's
Game of the century. Game. Best game in NFL history. Right here. Broncos Pats.
They better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Here comes Rodgers now as they'll go for the 2-point conversion. Throwing now is Rodgers. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So they make the decision. They run a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So now all eyes on the Patriots, trailing by 3 after the touchdown and 2-point conversion. 25 seconds remaining. And they need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Jones gets this to Myers, and he's got Rome. There he goes left side. A big play there on the catch and run. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. And his kick here is good.
66. My lucky number is the tied score. Now the final score would be
So as it turns
66-69.
out, the 2-play drive resulting in the field goal. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
6666.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Well, nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And this one incomplete.
Going
Too
overtime.
much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime.
That
rules.
fourth quarter, 23 to 30.
So in the past, we had
Oh
sudden
my
death.
God.
First team to score wins. But
What
no
a
longer.
quarter.
Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game.
Damn,
If
I
they
needed
kick a
this game
field
to
goal,
lighten
though,
up my
or don't score, the other team gets a possession.
needed this
And
game,
after
and
both
it
teams
did.
get possession, then we're into sudden death. First
I
team
needed
to
a game
score
like this,
wins the
man.
game.
What a sweet ending a game to be.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they're
That should
used to
be
just going
going down the
downfield and
field
trying to get in
and-
field goal range to win a game.
Oh, and it's intercepted.
Oh my god.
Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Oh my gosh, Ward just won the game. Ward just won the game. Now the defense
And
shows
you know
up.
what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second
Ward
one. I mean,
just
I'm not sure
won
the analytics
the
on it.
game.
So it's Marvin, our statistician, to bring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. If you throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
It's up. It's down. It's over. It's over. This game ended. Oh my gosh. One of the longest games that's ever happened in this.
And that one will go down in the books as just a one-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. But Charles, it's one thing to win, it's another thing to win and put up
69 to 66.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points.
You can see these guys again, the AFC Championship game.
They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
Seeing that?
You still think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
Oh my God.
So for New England, they needed overtime to do it, but they get the week 1
Acted like
victory
it's a
thanks to
regular
the field
game.
goal.
Yeah,
And they'll
you
head
acted
back
like
home
it's a
next
regular
week
game,
to
really.
take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Denver, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat, and they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, bye guys.